MLB Power Rankings. We are 2 weeks into the MLB season. Hopefully, knock on wood. I've been knocking on a lot of wood recently. Very superstitious, if you couldn't tell. Fingers crossed we can get an MLB season in the books and crown a champion. So with that said, every week that Major League Baseball will be playing, will be in action. We will do Power Rankings every Thursday. So with that said, the first inaugural Morning Boards Worldwide Sports Radio Network MLB Power Rankings coming at you right now. 5-1 with a few honorable mentions, just missed the cut. We do this every Thursday. Number 5, a team that's honestly surprised me. That is the Chicago Cubs. 10-2. Offense has been solid. And great lineup, don't get me wrong. The pitching is what concerned me. The starting pitcher has been pretty solid. The bullpen has been the major concern. Specifically one guy, Craig Kimbrell. And despite this is not a typo. This is not an exaggeration. Craig Kimbrell, the closer for the Cubs, currently has a 32.4 ERA. 32.4. 32.4. Not great. Not what you want to see if you're a Cubs fan. So I'll tell you this. That's a guy, if you're the other 29 teams, you definitely want to see. Bring Kimbrell on. That's a guy I want to face. So despite his gigantic 32 ERA, the Cubs have been gotten around that. The starting pitching has been better than I expected. They've been a great home team. And they are off to an impressive start at 10-2. I picked the Reds to make the playoffs. To win the division. I had the Cubs missing the playoffs, and this was before the playoffs expanded to 8 teams when it was just 2 wild cards. I had the Cubs missing out. I thought their run and their dynasty that they had going was over. But good for the Cubs. 10-2, dominating. Another win last night. You're off to a hot start. They're number 5 in the MLB Power Rankings. Number 4. I started down with number 5. We really need a voice guy, a deep voice to really just hammer it home. So we'll do it. We'll do it all in one. A man who wears many hats. We'll also voice it ourselves. Number 4. The Colorado Rockies. Another team that, I'll be honest, I did not have anywhere close to my radar when the season started. They really, they got off to a decent start last year and just completely fell flat on their face the last 2/3 of the season. But they're a team that has some decent wins already. The Padres are a spunky bunch. They beat them. They beat the A's. They're pitching. Despite being in Colorado in that hitter's ballpark with the thin air. 6th in the league in ERA. They're scoring a lot of runs. And the Rockies, they've been impressive, to be honest. Like I said, kind of a team so far with the Cubs and the Rockies, both teams that I didn't really expect to get off to hot starts. Especially Rockies when you have the Dodgers in the division. I understand they didn't play the Dodgers yet, but the AL West and the NL West, those are 2 tough divisions. Those are very 2 strong divisions with some teams that, are tough outs. So credit to the Rockies so far, 8-3. They're number 4 on the MLB Power Rankings. Number 3. The Minnesota Twins, a team that is not too surprising at all. Clicking on all cylinders so far. Their offseason additions of Kenta Maeda, Rich Hill to really address the pitching, which is their bugaboo last year, have worked. They're off to a great start. Not too surprised that the Twins are off to, leading the AL Central and off to a great start. But 10-2 is very impressive. 10-2. When you start off 10-2 in a 60-game season, you almost assert yourself of a playoff spot at this point, right? I think at this point you can just, kind of pull in the reins if you need to, and you can, be assured that you'll make the playoffs. Yeah, worst case, a wild card. So credit to the Twins. Great start. Everything's clicking so far is what you want. The pitching is good. The hitting is good. They're one of those teams that everything's working so far. You hope they don't peak too early, but so far so good. The Minnesota Twins, number 3 in the MLB Power Rankings. Number 2. The New York Yankees have been, it pains me to say it as a Mets fan, one of the best teams in baseball. Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball right now. Another home run yesterday. 7 home runs to lead the league. Garrett Cole, their prized, big-time starting pitching acquisition. They've been without an ace for a long time, really since CC Sabathia, when they made the trade for Sabathia a decade ago. He's looked very good. He's lived up to the part. He's been dominant. And the Yankees, they did this a lot last year, too, especially because of how injured they were. They needed contributions from all different parts of the lineup. They got it last year. They're getting it this year. Yeah, Mike Tauchman, a guy that was traded for late before the season last year, right? Late in spring training. They sign him. Okay, a guy, you think 25th man on the roster. Maybe, he'll get a pension every here and there. He has been great. He has been integral to their success last year and has been a great addition and again continuing to contribute this year. The Yankees are one of those teams where they have a deep lineup. They have contributions, again, going up and down. Role players are playing a great part. Their bullpen, best bullpen in the league. 9-2 off to a great start so far. Even with the little hiccup where they had a few games canceled because of the coronavirus, because they were supposed to play the Phillies that were rained out. Haven't missed a beat. Dominating. Beat up on the Red Sox. Got a little bit beat up yesterday, but for the most part, they've been pretty well so far. 9-2. Yankees are hot. Aaron Judge so far, league leader for MVP. Yankees are rolling. They are looking good. And they are just behind the number one team in Major League Baseball, and that is the Los Angeles Dodgers. 9-4, so the worst record of anyone in this list. But there's a reason why they're number one. Cody Bellinger, struggling. Not off to a great start. Clayton Kershaw's made one start. So despite struggles from their best hitter and arguably their best pitcher, Walker Buehler stepped up and been great. The lineup has picked them up. And not only do they have the best ERA in baseball from a team pitching staff, they also have the best run differential. So despite having the worst record of the top five, they are plus 32 in run differential in just 13 games. Their pitching is on point. Their hitting is on point. That's, again, despite not having Clayton Kershaw and despite Cody Bellinger getting off to an awful start. That is a deep team, a very talented team. Mookie Betts has been so much fun to watch already. At the bat, in the field, he's doing it all. Dodgers are a great, great, great team, and they show the depth that they have with pitching, with hitting. Despite getting off to a 9-4 start, not great. And again, when the Yankees are 9-2, the Twins are 10-2, the Rockies are 8-3, and the Cubs are 10-2. All better records than the Dodgers. There's a reason why they're still number one in baseball. They have the talent, they have the pitching, they have it all. And even when their best guys aren't coming through, other guys throughout the lineup are picking it up and getting the job done. So Dodgers, no surprise, no hot takes here. They're still the number one team in baseball 2 weeks in. And I don't really expect that to change too much. Now we'll go with some honorable mentions. Some just missed the cut. Oh, so close, but maybe we'll get you next week. The Atlanta Braves, 8-5. Their offense has been great. Great. My big concern with the Braves, and why I don't have them on this list so far, is that their pitching depth, especially their starting pitching depth, coming in was a little questionable towards the back end of the rotation. That took a bigger hit 2 weeks in. Yeah, Mike Foltynewicz, ineffective, already sent down and designated for assignment, despite being their basically their ace 2 years ago. So Foltynewicz, designated for assignment, off to a terrible start. And they took really a massive blow a few days ago. Mike Soroka, young pitcher, ace of the staff, opening day starter, went down, popped his Achilles, out for the year. So it's already questionable coming into the year. Now, when you lose essentially 2 out of the 5 rotation, 2 out of your 5, starting pitching rotation, including your best pitcher, that's not great. Not what you want. So the Braves, again, off to after getting off to a slow start, rebounded 8-5, took 3 out of 4 from the Mets in an impressive series. But their starting rotation depth is going to be a major question, something to look on, and why I think that's going to hold them back in the long run. So Braves, hey, still off to a hot start, still off to a great start offensively especially, but their pitching depth does scare me. That's why so far I have them just off the cut, not in the top 5. A's, same thing. Pitching has been great. All that's really honestly been flipped between the Braves and the A's. Their pitching has been great so far. Great. The offense is the one that's scary. So 8-4 off to a good start. Leaders in the AL West. Got to get that offense going a little bit more to have the A's catapult into the top 5. And the Astros, I have the Astros in here strictly because of their offense. They're 6-5, but their offense has been absolutely dynamic, absolutely the best offense in baseball. 6 runs per game. Leading the league, 6 runs per game. But this is similar to the Braves. Their pitching depth wasn't reliable to start the year. Justin Verlander has a forearm strain. If he is not out for the year, he's out for a very long time, which especially in a short 60-game season is going to hurt. And their bullpen has 10 rookie pitchers. 10 rookie pitchers coming out of the bullpen. That is a recipe for disaster. So despite the pitching staff of the Astros being, tough to say the least. Even before the injuries, you're relying on 10 rookies in the bullpen is not what you want, especially in a short season. Their offense has been carrying the team so far. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman. Not even off to that great of a start. But they're still winning. They're still scoring 6 runs a game. So, strictly from an offensive perspective alone, have the Astros just missed out of the top 5. We'll see. Their pitching staff is questionable. We'll see if they can pick themselves up. Because if they get even average pitching, the Astros will rebound and still become one of the best teams in baseball. It's a lot to ask from 10 rookies out of the bullpen. And now also have a banged-up starting pitching rotation. You heard me before the year. Starting pitching, to me, is going to be the key. Starting pitching is going to be the key in a short 60-game season. Who can pitch the best? Astros have question marks. The Braves have question marks. Dodgers still one of the best pitching teams in baseball. Yankees have gotten great pitching. Same so far with the Twins, Rockies, and Cubs. All the top 5 teams have all been pretty good. So those are my top 5. That is the MLB Power Rankings, the first edition of the Morning Boys MLB Power Rankings. We do it every Thursday, 5-1. Again, number 1, Dodgers, 2 Yankees, 3 Twins, 4 Rockies, and number 5, the Cubs. 2 weeks in, we'll see who can crack that list, who will move up or move down next Thursday when we do this as well.